Hi guys, welcome to my platform. This is going to be a message for the collective. My messages are timeless, so when you see them is when you're meant to hear them. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Also, please don't forget to hit the post notification bell so you can get alerts when my videos are posted. Collective, if you're new to my platform, welcome. Please hit that subscription button. It would totally mean the world to me. Thank you guys, everyone, for being here. I woke up exceptionally happy today. RJ, is there something wrong with this? Because it's saying reconnecting. It might be Facebook doing it already. They trying to get on my nerves. Saying reconnecting is on. It should be on the internet, right? Mm-hmm. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for being here. Yes, all right. Well, we already got one platform acting up anyway, but today is gonna be an amazing day, y'all. I woke up feeling so great. So let me see if I can remember it. Dun, 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 dun. I'll tell y'all later. Anyway, Bismillah. We starting the beginning of the show, the beginning of the day. So we're gonna go through. RJ, you look so handsome. I love your shoes.
Thank you. Love you. I'm out of here.
Have a good day. So we got Psalms 91. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely he will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rapport. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. If you say, the Lord is my refuge, and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent, for he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against the stone. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent, because he loves me, says the Lord. I will rescue him. I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. He will call on me and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him with long life. I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. So that is Psalms 91. Baby got a new pair of shoes. So somebody might be getting married, get a new pair of shoes or a new pep in your step. All right, so this is Surah Al-Fatiha over here, all right? And this comes out of the Quran. You can look it up. It's the first thing in the Quran, I think. Don't hold me to that, but I think it is. I can look, but you can look too. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. All praise for Allah, Lord of all worlds, the most compassionate, most merciful, master of the day of judgment. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Guide us along the straight path, the path of those you have blessed, not those you are displeased with or those who are astray. Now, I had to say this morning and tell again, because we're talking about language. So the message is every language is a new reality, spoken, written, ancient, and digital languages. Open new doors, new lessons. We definitely love this for us, right? Because elevation. Let me tell y'all what it is. The thing that I've been saying. I said it this morning, and so I'm gonna say it to y'all in the way that this is how I'm supposed to remember it. And Anna Alugatal. So I will remember it eventually, but for some reason, it's the pronunciation of the language and the way it rolls off the tongue. It could be somebody, even if you learn Spanish, French, patois, whatever it is that you learn in different languages, right? But mind you, I don't know why it's like a crack in the brain or in the memory. The sentence is, I am currently learning Arabic, the Arabic language. Ana ata'alam alugatal Arabiya. Ana ata'alam alugatal Arabiya. Anybody that is Arabic. Y'all tell me if I said it right. Anyway, it's probably better than I've been saying it. Either way, the word God is the word God in any language, right? But for some reason, if I say it in Arabic, automatically it disconnects people's brains from the fact that it's a language. It's Arabic. It's not trying to say that this is God and this is not God. Because I don't know why, for the life of me, people will come over here and they will say Yahweh. That means God in English. Allah mean God in Arabic. Diablo, let me not pronounce it wrong because I don't want to get it wrong, because y'all, Dios means God in Spanish. Okay? It's the same word. People speak different languages. Okay? And I have to keep saying this because I don't know why it's the trigger of the Allah word. Like, it's almost a racist thing. Like, it's a bias, because the minute they hear that, they for some reason go left and think that I'm talking about somebody else. Meanwhile, one God, same God, different languages. So we have to understand that different languages, different people speak different languages, and they say God in different ways. They're not trying to change. It's all the same thing. Why do I want to go to the ladder? And for some reason, it's two different ladders. It's the broken ladder, which was a book, which is a book, and it talks about the disconnect, like up here and down here, like how they move people to impoverished areas, but if you move them over just a little bit, give them a hand up, they start to change, right? So it's also like with languages. Different languages start to elevate and bring different... Girl, who is you? They be so mad. Like, I don't know why, like, the fact that my platform exists, like, be making these other platforms so mad. I ain't said nothing. Just trying to get everybody to understand that if we're collectively growing together and each one teach one, united we stand, divided we fall, then we have to respect other people that exist. Everybody that comes along is not going to speak English. There's people that's going to speak Vietnamese, and I'm sure they say God in a whole nother way. I can look that one up too, right? And I can write God in 3,000 different languages, and it's not going to say anything other than God in their language. So please stop coming over here and trying to tell me God is the only way, because I'm telling you, God is, like, we're saying the same thing, different languages, because I said it too. I always, at the end of the day, close it off, go with God, please and always, and thank you. But this is also where we have to stop being so closed mind, because it's a lot of the American US people that come over here and they do that because they don't want no other anybody else but whoever they are. As a matter of fact, I don't even really want to say it like that, because I really want to say it's the Christian people. Like, y'all people is like the only people that, and it's not all of them. So I'm not going to say it's all of them, but it's enough of them. Thank you. Thank you. It's enough of them, because what they do is they want to browbeat, they want to whoop you into whatever it is they think or they believe. But meanwhile, they're being so closed off in the brain, not understanding that this is these people's language. This is how they were born. This is how they were raised. And if we don't want to take time to get to know somebody else's language or somebody else's culture, then we are the problem. Okay? So I don't want to be the problem. All right. So, but the ladder, this is what I wanted to also say. The ladder in the Bible. Do I want to open up a new chat, because I don't want to mess up this one. So, I want to know what it says. So this morning, I have to tell y'all, 11:11. No, it was 1:11. Okay. Three things. 1:11, 5:55, like literally to the T on the dot. It was crazy. And then also I keep having dreams about somebody. And I'm gonna tell y'all what the dream is because I need y'all to know, but honestly, something about the fact that that's not the only thing. And I'm sorry my mind's just jumping all over the place, but this is what's happening right now. Also, when I said baby a new pair of shoes, something or another, it's a change. So y'all may have noticed a change in an energy. It's like something that was trying to hold on to you and restrict you is now, it's like the hands are opening. So that could be the other thing. It's like prayer. When you pray like this, but meanwhile, it should be this, like opening, like God opening up the windows of heaven and pouring out a blessing. But literally it has something to do with somebody trying to restrict you. This person has now undone whatever it was they did. This person is now understanding that in order to go, we all have to free flow. So I love that for whoever that is, and thank you. I appreciate it, right? Because not for nothing, it actually helps everybody grow. You can't hold on to something like this when you're asking for miracles and blessings. You got to open it up and you got to be able to receive. So somebody feeling like they're now able to receive. All right. Now let me see, where is the latter verse in the Bible? Let's see. Because why are we doing that? But mind you, over here, it is trying to reconnect. So just so y'all know, this person may have learned that they can't, it's like a parent. All right. I don't want to say it like this because this would be somebody that you have dealt with, but it's like a parent. Like when you have to let the babies go out into the world, this person has learned in order for them to get it back, they have to open it up and let it go. All right. Love that energy. Because it's trusting in the universe. And again, we don't want to do this, we want to do this, because it's trusting in the universe that if, oh, what's that saying? If it's meant to be yours, let it go. And if it comes back, no, yeah, if it comes back, it was meant to be yours, or something of that nature. Whatever that saying is, it's given that. So whoever the person is, but mind you, I feel like this person was casting spells, because literally that's what it looked like. You know how everybody always go to the freezer and try to put somebody in it, names this and the third. And I said to y'all a couple weeks ago, whatever you did, undo it. Don't go to no spiritualists, because those stuff for law itches is being dealt with as well, because people keep doing work on people and they should not be doing that. You have to allow it to be free and let God do the work, because right now this is God's time. Like anybody that's trying to do anything that is outside of the will of God, you're being dealt with, because this is God's moment. This is God's time to shine. Like this ain't your moment. This ain't your moment to put no energy in it. This ain't your moment. This is all God's miracles being shown. Okay. So the ladder in the Bible comes from Jacob's dream. So that's why they call it Jacob's ladder. Okay. Makes sense. I don't know why that now just is doing a thing, but the reason why, because we already knew that, right? Because we already read this. But literally, it's like trying to reconnect. I like that energy. So just allowing things to be new also, but it's giving a circle around. Like, it is the wheel of fortune. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, but the wheel is now actually turning. So somebody is now let go, took their hands off of it, and they just gonna let the wheel turn. I like that. All right. So Jacob's ladder. Genesis 28:12. He dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it. That ain't the one I want though. Jacob is traveling, falls asleep. I said I was having dreams. So but this is also, maybe we'll see. So what's happening? Jacob is traveling, falls asleep, and dreams of a ladder or stairway connecting earth and heaven, with angels moving between the two. God then speaks to him, confirming a covenant and a promise. Okay, let's see where we about to go. A related reference in the New Testament. Okay, so it's going to give us the things that we can go look up. So we're going to go look that one up because I said I had a dream. It could relate to that. But mind you, I don't know why this person is in my dreams. But this person has been in my dreams a couple of times in the past couple of days. And it's strange. Anyway, a related reference in the New Testament, Jesus later refers back to this image in the Gospel of John, John 1:51. You shall see heaven open and the angels of God ascending and descending upon the Son of Man. Here, the latter becomes symbolic. Many interpret it as a representation connecting between humanity and the divine. All right, let's keep going because now I need another reference. Let's see. All right. The Tower of Babel. All right, that's what we talking about. So, two references, but then we got to go back to Jacob's ladder because anyway, it said this isn't designed to provide this type of content. But why? Anyway, so the Tower of Babel, humanity tried to build a city and a tower with its top into the heavens to make a name for themselves. So let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens so that we may make a name for ourselves. Otherwise, we will be scattered over the face of the whole earth. So that's in Genesis 11. 11 and 4 was the top one. Genesis 7 through 8. Come, let us go down and confuse their languages so they will not understand each other. So the Lord scattered them from there over. All right, so that's the one. So people being scattered, but that also meant that there was a home language for everyone. Come, let us go down and confuse their language. There was only one language so that they will not understand each other. So again, I'm going to say this, new doors opening. And the way that the new doors opening is because we have to connect and communicate, because if they, and these people, they meaning they're over there speaking this language, and this person's over here speaking this language, and this person's over here speaking this language. But at one point in time, we all spoke one language. One. Now, the thing that we don't want to do, because again, I'm gonna say this, and I keep saying we don't want to do that, because if we saw that happened and it wasn't good, let's not do that again. But if we all spoke one language and we all came together to collectively now decide, okay, let's go build a ladder to go into heaven, we clearly know that that wasn't right. God didn't like that. And so if we don't like stuff, we don't want people infringing upon our rights either. But the fact of the matter is we still have to come together to get to the understanding, the understanding of whatever is happening. There's information that they have when they speak in Spanish that we don't have. We're missing. There's a translation, a missing of it. It's also like things being translated from one language to the other language. You may need something that triggers your body, lights up your DNA, a pathway, right? And if you don't speak that language, you don't have it. And if you want to keep being closed off, because people will say, if you come over here, then you have to speak this language. No, they don't. You're cutting yourself off from some stuff that maybe you should want to know. And you can do that, but I don't want to do that. I want to connect with the people that I'm supposed to connect with. The people who know that at once upon a time we spoke one language, and maybe we may have done some stuff, because it says we are born a certain type of way. But now we know, don't do that. Or at least now I know. But the fact of the matter is, I still want to know what the people that speak Vietnamese are saying. I want to know what the people that speak Hebrew are saying. I want to know what the people that speak Arabic are saying. I want to know. I want to know clear traditional English. See, that's the thing, Cash, because there is no clear traditional English. If we actually look up English, English actually came from many different other languages and they put it together. So English is actually taken, they took it like they do everything else, and then they, added some stuff together, and then they forced us to learn that. Meanwhile, also disconnecting us from God. Everything that was done, if y'all can't clearly see, has been disconnecting us from God, meaning trying to hold us pigeonholed in a small area. This is the broken ladder, is a part of that. So if we go look at the broken ladder, it is where they deliberately, intentionally keep people in these types of areas so you can't grow. But it's also energy harvesting, because you have to remember the people that are doing that, it was already written that the land will not yield for them. This earth won't do anything for them. So what they have to do is now go energy harvest from everybody else, and they became real good at it. Do you notice TikTok has its own language? Yeah. And I noticed also something else about TikTok. They're trying to do this thing like everybody else do, put you in here. So yes ma'am. But mind you, because we keep doing the same exact thing, but it's also putting us further and further away from the original language, because good means bad now and bad means good. Because I literally seen that girl wake up and say, oh, I want to see all the bad moms. But we also have to remember that the power of life and death is in the tongue. The original word is the original word. A truth is a truth and a lie is a lie. So we have to remember that we have to undo what they did. Meaning, with the languages, because we'll break off, even like, how we have ebonics, and body language is a language. I keep trying to tell people that. It's like, I could say something to you with a look and you'll automatically catch it because we speak the same language. You see what I'm saying? We could be out and I give you that look, and all of a sudden you'll look to where I did that, that thing, because you automatically know, we speak the same language. But on another note, everybody don't speak the same language, and we're missing vital translations and stuff. This is why people go find stuff all throughout and around the world. That was also like how let me finish that thought. They'll go find stuff around the world, and then it's always an expert in this, but meanwhile it's not the people that own it. And then they'll be saying, oh, this is cursed, we have to lock it away inside of a vault. Meanwhile, no, it's cursed to you, but it's not cursed to the people that own it. It's also the same exact thing about cursive writing. Do y'all know that basic English fires your brain one way? And we can look it up so that way I can say it right, because I ain't the specialist on it. But cursive writing fires your brain in many more different ways. But everything is being done to dumb you down. But do you know that if you learn a different language, a thought that you had in English creates a different thought pattern or a different process in another language? So this is why we have to be mindful of all the things that they're doing, because it's not in our favor. It's always in their favor. So we have to remember, even like the processing on a computer. I was watching a linguist person, right, one day, and he said, thank you. And he said, that because they have now changed the kids to typing on a computer, that fires your brain less than actually writing. So the smart people know that even when you type it in or you do notes, you go have to write it down, because it triggers your brain and fires it in another way. But also, if you can write it in cursive, it fires your brain better, top of the line. So y'all can go look it up, because I ain't that person. But anyway, so right here, another reference. And I seen a girl, and she said that, because I'm always saying we didn't get a pamphlet when we came into Earth. Like, what I'm saying? We grew here. This is Earth school, because we're learning literally as we go, right? Meanwhile, there were actual pamphlets that were given It's in the holy books. So we have the Bible, we have the Quran, we have the Torah, we have, they have the Kabbalion, they have tarot. Like, it's all a pathway into learning life. So they will try to tell you to stay away from this book because these people think they better than these people think they better than these people think they better than these people. But I promise you, one thing that I'm learning, and I don't know if it's the people or if it's already something that has already been given and it was God's word and it's written in one place or another. But I literally heard something this morning about them people that start with a J. Mind you, they have had so many restrictions by God put on them. And again, they keep using other people to do their work. So if it's a lie, it's in them books, but them people they done a lot. And they still doing stuff to this day. But mind you, it's already been set in stone, their fate. And so it's like me. And I understand why they doing it, because if you gotta live on earth for, well, I don't understand why they do some of the shit, but stuff for love. But if you got to live on earth for 9,999 years, and basically there's already stuff that you already been afflicted, because literally you're not allowed to touch certain things, you're not allowed to eat certain things, you just not allowed, right? Meanwhile, I like loopholes. I'm a person who, likes loopholes. So I figure out how to go about getting something even without getting it. So I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I'm gonna make it real quick because we need to go back. Once upon a time, I did something that I wasn't supposed to do. I literally heard God tell me not to help a person, right? Because again, this person used to call me their seer. They would ask me stuff, or I would tell them stuff, and not knowing why, again, I didn't have guidance as, spiritual guidance growing up, right? I did, but not in this aspect, because technically if they knew that I was doing that, they would have straight called me the devil, right? But mind you, I could say, don't do this or speak things into reality, right? Which is a God-given gift. But if they can't control it, they will try to say that there's something wrong with you. Meanwhile, back at band camp, can't nobody tell me nothing but other than God has had his her the area hand on my life the whole entire since I came into this realm, right? So now I understand a little bit better than I did back then. But I clearly heard, don't help this person do something. But because I want to be a sucker for love, I helped the person, right? All right, God said, now, since you did that, and you clearly heard me, tell you not to do that, now, you do it yourself. Since you think you're so smart, you do it yourself. So I call it the fall from grace. So I literally had a fall from grace because I helped somebody. And at that time, it was almost like, even if I said, go to the universe said, who you talking to? Because I ain't, I ain't here for it, because you already did something I told you not to do, and now you figure it out. All right, I like loopholes. So during that time, I was a person, my first mind worked. First thing I said, it did what it needed to do. So I decided that, okay, if my first mind don't work because it's not working no more, the first thing I do, don't do that no more. Now do the second thing. Mind you, it worked. The first thing I thought of, nope, let's do the second thing. Second thing started to work. Mind you, I feel like when I did it, God laughed. I feel like for some reason, the universe said, oh, she's slick with it. Okay, let's watch her. Let's see if this, let's see what she do with this. I started doing all the right things. Everything I could do to atone for everything that I did back then. So I didn't do none of the stuff that, I just got away. Like I got on away from everybody. All right. So then as it started to work and my life got a whole lot better, right? Because I started to do the second thing. I like loopholes. I slid under the gate. Then I heard, you did good. Like, you know what I mean? You did good. And the whole entire time I'm thinking God done left me, this, that, and third. I'm crying. I slid down the wall, did the whole little, like literally did that. Then you realize, like, God's still watching, God's still standing by, this, that, and third. And then I hear, trust your first mind. Trust your first mind. Like, I'm gonna give it back. So you get the gift back. I'm gonna give it back because I seen that you did everything good, right? So now I realize, because once I hear this, have you ever tried to trick your mind out of the trick that you put on the mind? It is a whole lot harder to now go back to the first thing, I promise you, because of the fact that now I didn't know what was the first or the second. So now I had to kind of finagle the bagel to get back into, okay, just trust yourself the first time. Because now I done did this mind trickery thing, and y'all, and I ain't lying, I literally did this shit. Astaghfirullah. Anyway, so it took me a little bit longer to figure out how to get back to the trusting of the first mind, because literally once the thought came, it's like, because I got quicker at it. I got quicker at determining, this would be the first thing I would do. So now do the second thing. And so once I got quicker at that, and then God said, nope, go back to, like, I'm going to give you back the gift, then go back to your first mind. Well, that's a lot harder, because once you get fast at it, because I'm that person, I like to be efficient. Cross the T, dot the I, let's get the going. I don't got time for the how we got, to, like, once we figure out this is a problem and this is a problem, now let's figure out how we fix it. Because I don't like to dwell on the problems too much, because, why are we gonna stay there too long? We got stuff to do. So anyway, long story short, now you got to figure out how to get back to the first mind and trusting your first mind, and then realizing, here we are. Now we're going to trust our first mind. Now we got to make sure that when God tells us to do something, like when God said, get going, leave this person. And although I'm saying, God, I like the person. Like, I really love them. I didn't second guess. I got going. And then once I got going, then I started realizing everything that this person was doing, but I couldn't see it while I was in it. But I didn't second guess on the next one. When God said, move, I didn't question the fact that I really wanted to, I really wanted to love that. Nah, can't love that. I ain't even bargaining no more with God. I just got going. So language is being important, but also it is the language barrier that's keeping us stuck. Because a lot of people will look at some people and they'll say that they're not connected to us. It's like when I say here, the brown people, because black and brown people that are here in America, other cultures, like, has anybody ever wondered why everybody, outside of this place all teamed up on one group of people? Everybody. So the other day, just like this, there was some white lady, she was on a thing, and basically this lady has a beautiful home. And she said, I'm going to set up for us to do a girls' weekend, and we're going to do spa, we're going to do this. She said, I got a 20-acre ranch, this, that, and the third, da-da-da-da-da. But it's a white lady, right? So in my mind, because my mind did it, I said, I wonder if she likes black people. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wonder if that invitation, because she put it out on the internet, I wonder if that invitation's for everybody, right? So when I get to the comments, because I'm getting ready to say that, like, is it for, and somebody had already asked the question, right? Another brown girl had already asked the question. So I typed under the other brown girls, I said, that's what I was getting ready to come and say, right? All right, so about an hour or two goes by, and then there's a comment that shows up. TikTok says, this person commented to your comment. So when I go look at it, the lady said, us brown girls have to get over this. So I put on that comment. No, she said, we need to learn to let this go. That's what she said. So my comment under her comment was, could you please elaborate? Because I wanted to know what she was talking about. But in the process, after I did that, I went to her page. Mind you, I still ain't to this day got no comment, right? I went to her page. Lo and behold, it was an African. Now, not for nothing, everything that I see about the Africans, and although we are the same color, and again, I'm going to say collectively at some point in time, we have to get together. But until then, I'm going to say the truth. They're liars, they steal, and they're users. Meanwhile, they also try to use their culture against the ones that are over here, not realizing that that's also our culture too, because again, but we not the same blacks. So they'll try to talk about us and say all of these things. We have no culture, this and the third. But then they bring themselves over here to try to get whatever it is that they can get, drain it, and send it back to. And again, whatever happened, it is like, we keep butting heads with everybody. But mind you, we'll love on them because, we're oblivious to the fact that everybody then already got told to try to stay away from us or try to keep us down. So they'll talk junk and mess about us, not realizing, honey, at the end of the day, and the day gonna end, we have been the centralized people that every single person on this planet has tried to hold down, but we are the most resilient. Mind you, everybody will come and take from us our culture that they claim we don't have, and then we'll see it elsewhere. So technically, the culture is us. We are it. And again, we can love everybody, but until that day when everybody now decides that they want to love on us, because it's the languages, and this is why it is imperative for us over here to learn them languages so then we'll know what they're saying. They literally are trying to dumb everything down. Like literally this system, and I don't want to live anywhere but here, just so y'all know. Because everybody that has gone afar and wherever, they always find themselves back here. This is our land. Period, point blank. I don't care where you are, how you are, this, that, and the third. They always want to come here. Everybody. And yes, it may be, whatever it is, we have to make it better. But also in the fact of us making it better, we got to put back some key aspects. We need to learn them languages because it was only one from the beginning. And if it was only one from the beginning and we did something wrong, in order for us to get back to the right, we have to learn. Or we don't have to do nothing and we can, still stay stuck. We can do that too. But meanwhile, I'm not doing that. I'm going to learn what I need to learn. I'm going to understand whatever and if I got to pile every religion on top of each other, and then we got to change it generation to generation, because guess what? I may just be the start of the first person that piles it all together. The first person that wants to understand every bit of it and understand how each one played a part in whatever this is. Nobody else has to do it. The same way nobody else had to sit in this seat and volunteer when, I glitched and everything happened. And I'm saying I'm very aware. I'm a very aware person. And I see that this ain't right and this ain't right because throughout time, they have been able to fix whatever it was that was wrong, and they did not do it. But as I'm looking in the holy books, each one of them, guess what? Is clues that are saying they couldn't if they needed to, if they wanted to. They couldn't because God made it so they can't. They have to just go. So that would mean that we would have to be the ones that would wake up and figure it out. They can't change it if they wanted to. They're not allowed. Look in the books. It's right in there. So we are going to be held accountable if we don't change something. It is our fault. We already see them. We already know what they are. We already know it's embedded. And if we don't figure it out, and maybe it only takes one person, because just like in Sodom and Gomorrah, it only took one person. God told Lot, take your family and go. I'm going to deal with this. And so you get chosen same way in another story. Noah got chosen to be, mind you, y'all see the mud flood was really real. So even whether or not you think that it's a story, a made up story, you keep seeing buildings being dug up under what was a mud flood. So you can act oblivious to the system or the situation, but there are things, the signs will be there. The signs are there. The languages are important. So gathering and collecting the languages and then using it to uncover, unveil what was actually supposed to be a part of this and a part of this. And if you choose not to, you don't have to. You don't have to be a part of the system. You don't have to be a part of the program. You can continue to keep being a part of the problem. Because like I said, and I'm going to keep saying it, so all of y'all are very clear and aware of the fact that everything has been or is being uncovered, right? Not for nothing. It's some things that we can't unsee. It's some things that we can't unhear. And once you can't unsee them and you can't unhear them and you don't do anything at all, period, you are now held accountable. So for hundreds of thousands of years, we have already seen this system has been ran under. Whatever it is you want to say, the child stuff, the eating stuff, the kill, steal, destroy stuff, it's not new. This is just still, I keep saying, the Game of Thrones. It's about the land. All y'all do is dress better. All y'all do is have better cars. The Game of Thrones is still playing itself out right to this day because literally they have been just taking to the tune of even that property, that building where these people live so free at was land that belonged to not them. So we can act like we don't see. We can act like, we don't hear. But at the end of the day, when you get wherever, what you believe in, Jannah or heaven or wherever, you're going to be held accountable for it. Period, point blank, because what did you do? You heard it, you seen it, and you just decided that, hey, it wasn't me, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to live in a way that, keeps me and mine away from it. It's touching everybody. It's touching everybody. All right, so we're gonna go back to Jacob because for some reason, like I said, I had a dream. I keep having a dream about a particular person and don't know why I'm having a dream, but also, like I said, the fact that it's hands up and hands off. So that could also be another thing. This could all be not even the person awakening up and saying, it could just also be the protection of God saying, hands up, hands off. You done had enough. And just so y'all know, even those people said that they didn't touch certain people, certain individuals, because they saw God on them. Because y'all fail to realize, like, anybody can read a scripture. I've been noticed that everybody turning to God. Anybody can read a scripture. The devil knows a scripture well. The devil probably can actually speak in all them different languages very well too. So the devil is not uneducated, just so y'all know. The devil is not unaware, just so y'all know. So y'all can stay in the same place. Y'all can try to, minimize certain things. But the devil, it's like when people think that the devil's going to show up and, like, scary. No. Why would you think that? If I show up scary, you going to run. It wouldn't make sense to me. So the devil would show up in all the things that you would love and you would like. This person, that person, this thing, and all y'all say is, oh, this is looking great, I need to have that. This is where discernment comes in, because the devil can show up in the form of a cell phone. The devil can show up in the form of advancements, because y'all need these advancements to make y'all life so much easier, because y'all don't want to do nothing anyway. Gardening is not good for y'all. Meanwhile, gardening connects y'all to the land, but the devil showed up and the devil said, I could put y'all food, here, you just come to pay for it all in one building. Meanwhile, everybody was gardening. Everybody was touching the land. Everybody was getting to what was necessary and needed, touching the land, touching Mother Earth. A lot of people I know or did know have been trying to get close to me in my dreams. How do I stop this? Why would you want to stop it? Why don't you see where it goes? This is another thing. Like, why does nobody ever want to actually see? Like, the other day I was trying to, it was weird because I was trying to go back to sleep in my dream, to go back into the dream because I wanted to finish it. And so why do you want to stop it? Why do you not want to see where it goes? Why do you not want to be able to control it? Because technically the power is yours. And so if you keep the dream going and then you decide that I'm the boss and this mother sucker, because this my body. So why would you want to stop it? Like spiritually, are you stronger than them or are they stronger than you? So in my mind, like I said, I went to back. I was asleep, still trying to go to sleep. Like, don't leave right now because I want to like be done. The cycle. Why keep yourself in cycles and loops? Why are you running? Like the devil didn't give. I mean, God didn't give you a spirit of fear. The devil is like you right now. The people. Those are the devils and the demons. They be the people that they be sending. Or the people that show up, they call them family and friends. Them the people that be doing the worst shit to you. The stuff for law. Them the people that be doing the worst stuff to you. So what you running for? When it gets otherworldly and some other stuff, you'll know. Cause you know, that's different. Let's see. Jacob's ladder, where you at? Let's go look at this. And why all of a sudden is chat telling me that it can't look up Bible verses for me? Does that make any sense? It's saying it don't do stuff like that. And then last night also in my dream, it was trying to stop me from breathing through my nose and my mouth. Like literally trying to kill me. Don't ask me why. Either way, whatever's happening, something's happening. I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I stay alive. I got all my life to live. I got all my love to give, and I will survive. All right, give me this. And then the other thing that's happening is, for some reason, it's almost like, why, hold on, what is it? What is the person? It's almost like I'm seeing things from other people's bodies or other people's visions. Because why is Ray J a thing? Like, for some reason, he's the second person. It's a thing with these people are bleeding from their eyes, right? But he's not the first person I saw that. It was a girl that showed up and all of a sudden it was bleeding from the eyes. But they call that a stigmata. That's what that's called. But, you know, he has his own health problems, something, but something about that is important. So I'm going to look that up too. But again, we going back to the languages because that's where we were supposed to be going. But we just going to walk with it, okay? So walk with me. I will survive. Oh. Okay, so now it says your client has issued a malformed or illegal request. All I'm asking for, can y'all type into y'all Google or into y'all chat and see if they're removing the Bible from there? Because literally, I just typed it into Google and Google says your client has issued a malformed or illegal request. All I asked was for the scripture to Genesis. I didn't ask for anything else. So now it's doing something strange. Why would they be doing that? Somebody, can y'all type it in? Somebody tell me, do you have the Bible on Google or on chat, please and thank you? Because that's weird. Because mine is literally telling me I can't, that's not a request. It's the Bible. And if they start trying to remove the Bible from online, y'all know what's next. And this is why I keep trying to tell y'all, sooner or later, the people who are, you know, responsible, y'all know who the people is. Y'all gonna have to do something. You can't sit on your fingers and twiddle your fingers. We're gonna have to figure this out. All right, so now it's back. So a minute ago, it told me no. But I redid Google and now it's back. So it says, I'm gonna go to Bible Gateway. All right, so and Jacob had a dream. Dreams in the Bible often serve as, okay, I want the actual chapter. Where is it at? And now I want to sing the Brady Bunch. Here's a story of a lovely lady who was bringing up three very lovely girls. All of them had hair of gold like their mother, the youngest one in curls. Here's a story of a man named Brady who was bringing up three boys of his own. And this two would somehow form a family. So it's six people, six children. That's the way they all became the Brady bunch. So it's six children and it's two parents. Don't know why that is. And then Alice was the housekeeper. So take it how it resonates, but that's the song that wants to just come out of my body right now. So Isaac called for Jacob and blessed him. Do not take a wife from the Canaanite women, he commanded. Go at once to. Okay, I want to say something, but I'm gonna hold it. Okay, go at once to the Padan Aram, to the house of your mother's father Bethuel, and take a wife from among the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. May God Almighty bless you and make you fruitful and multiply you, so that you may become a company of peoples. It literally says company of peoples. I wonder if it says that in the Bible. Anyway, and may he give you the blessings of Abraham to you and your descendants, so that you may possess the land where you dwell as a foreigner, the land God gave to Abraham. So Isaac sent Jacob to Padanaram to Laban, sons of Bethuel and Aramean, the brother of Rebekah, who was the mother of Jacob and Esau. Esau marries Mahalath, Mahalath. Now Esau learned that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him to Padanaram to take a wife, there commanding him, do not marry a Canaanite woman, and that Jacob had obeyed his father and mother and gone to Padanaram. And seeing that his father Isaac disapproved of the Canaanite woman, Esau went to Ishmael and married Mahalath, the sister of Nebaioth, and daughter of Abraham's son Ishmael, in addition to the wives he already had. Meanwhile, does that mean he took on a Canaanite woman? Is that what he trying to say? We gonna see. What's up, son? Okay. Bye. Yeah. Love you. All right. Meanwhile, Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. One reaching a certain place to spend the night there because the sun had set, and taking one of the stones from the palace, he put under his head and lay down to sleep. And Jacob had a dream about a ladder that rested on the earth, with its top reaching up to heaven. God's angels were going up and down the ladder, and there at the top the Lord was standing and saying, I am the Lord God of your father Abraham and God of Isaac. I will give you and your descendants the land on which you now lie. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth, and you will spread out to the west and east and north and south. All of the families of the earth will be blessed through you and your offspring. Look, I am with you, and I will watch over you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave you until I have done what I promised. I will not leave you till I have done what I promised. Remember that. When Jacob woke up, he said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I was unaware of it. And he was afraid and said, my body is lighting up now. How awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven. All right, the stone of Bethel. Early the next morning, Jacob took the stone that he had placed under his head, and he set it up under a pillar. He poured oil on top of it, and he called the place Bethel, though previously the city had been named Luz. Then Jacob made a vow saying, if God will be with me and watch over me on this journey, and if he will provide me with food to eat and clothes to wear, so that I may return safely to my father's house, the Lord will be my God. And this stone I have set up a pillar will be God's house. And if all that you give me, I will surely give you 10. All right, so let me tell y'all something. There's several things that's happening here. that I can tell y'all. All right, the first thing I need to be very sure, because remember that Rebecca, hold on, this Jacob and Esau. Remember, two nations were born, those are twins. So let's remember that, right? It said the older will serve the younger. Rebecca, so Esau I think was the oldest. I gotta go back, but mind you, this the scripture, so we gotta unpack some things here. Now, the reason why I'm guessing, and I'm gonna just say this, is because God already told her that there will be two nations born in her. The older will serve the latter. It looks like the dad didn't want them to cross marry because one ended up being a Canaanite. That was Canaan's people. Is that who that is? Yeah, Canaan's people. Anyway, so the fact that he told her right here, it says, do not take away from the Canaanite women. He commanded, meaning don't do it. And I'm telling you not to do it. But him already being blessed, because he was already blessed before he was born. He was blessed in his mom's womb because God gave her them twins and he gave them a story about them, right? And anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, because we just doing this together. And I'm just reading what I got here. To the house of your mother's father, which his mom is Rebecca, right? Is that correct? Hopefully, let's say yes, but somebody can say something. To the house of your mother's father, Bethuel, and take a wife from among the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. That would make them marrying their cousins, just so we're clear. But mind you, the mother's brother, that would be like my brother. My brother is Donnie. And so if your mother's brother, yeah, they cousins. Anyway, bless you. May God Almighty bless you. So this is where the keeping it in the bloodline came from, because if there was no other people, but the Canaanite people already were cursed. Remember, they're part of Canaan's bloodline. So in order to keep the blessing amongst these folks, they was trying to make sure that you didn't cross reference into the Canaanites, because again, they were already cursed. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody. And may he give the blessings of Abraham to you and your descendants, so that you may possess the land where you dwell as a foreigner, and because he didn't live there, so it's his. And again, they were told that they would be blessed as the land that they could see, and some is what they said. Possess the land where you dwell as a foreigner, God gave to Abraham, because that was the promise for Abraham. So Isaac sent Jacob, Isaac is the dad, sent Jacob to Padan Aram, hopefully I'm saying that right, to Laban, son of Bethuel, to Aramean, the brother of Rebekah, which is the mom, that had the twins, that two nations would be born from her. They are twins, but they are not, what is that, paternal twins? The people that look alike. Because one was red and one was a different color, like they was different colors. So just so y'all know, y'all can go look this up. Don't trust me. All right, look it up for yourself. But two nations, they're twins because they was born at the same time. But literally they said the oldest will serve the younger. Esau was the oldest, I'm thinking. But also y'all got to remember that Esau also gave his birthright to Jacob at one point in time. So again, don't trust me, go look it up. And if you find it and I'm wrong, come back and tell me, because I need to know. Anyway, because we're just unpacking whatever is here. Now Esau learned that Isaac had blessed Jacob. But mind you, in the scripture, and I can probably type it in, Isaac loved Esau and Rebekah, the mom, loved Jacob. I think that's how it went. Either way, they had their picks and chooses on who was their favorite. All right. But mind you, it says that Isaac has now blessed Jacob, which I think that's the one that was Rebekah's favorite. Maybe I need to cross-reference just to make sure. And sent him to Padan Aram to the wife. Okay. So, and seeing his father, Isaac, disapproved of the Canaanite women, and seeing that his father Isaac disapproved of the Canaanite women, Esau went to Ishmael and married Mahaliah. So Mahaliah, let's see if Mahaliah is a Canaanite. Because that would mean you went against your father and now you cross bloodlines with a cursed bloodline. Which would also make sense why this mother sucker keep coming in my dreams, because I swear this nigga cursed. But I ain't saying nothing. Let me see. Google. Well, and y'all can also see it too, because if in fact you got told not to mess with a certain type of person, you cross bloodlines with this person and this person. All right, so Mahaliah is a biblical figure who was the third wife of Esau, the son of Isaac and Rebekah. She is the daughter of Ishmael and a sister of Nebaioth. Esau married Mahaliah to seek reconciliation with his parents, Isaac and Rebekah, after realizing that his Canaanite wives displeased them. Oh, he was already married to Canaanite women, and so he tried to go back into the bloodline. But if he got sons or daughters, see, this is where the cross up happens. This is also where I keep trying to tell y'all about the wealth transfer, because the wealth transfer is literally the bloodline that is heavenly, divine, right? And the people that when there was kings and queens, because we still living in a time, people was doing stuff and this is why this man said this shit. All right, something playing out now that's from this. Because I literally just saw that they said that when a baby is born now, they have to get a DNA test, because at this point, mama's baby, papa's maybe. And in heaven, the children get written down the right way, because God knows who the baby pappy is. Here, people were not taking blood tests, so it's starting to come out from Ancestry and 23andMe, because these people telling these stories that they thought they didn't have no bloodline here because these people thought they had wiped away certain stuff. Come to find out, that ain't the baby daddy. This is it. So, mind you, I just literally heard that this is happening now. So, y'all, why are they doing that? Well, I get why they would be doing it, because it's necessary and it does need to be recorded correctly. But they know more than I do, because they didn't be behind the scenes doing a bunch of weird stuff. But mind you, because Canaanite people are cursed, period, point blank. Those is Canaan's people. Remember, they said that why am I getting energy harvesting again? All I hear is energy harvesting. So I don't know if that's the case or that's the truth, but that's all I hear. Those are the people that have been, I wonder if okay, so let me finish the thought. Those are the people that have been, they were cursed, and it said that the land will not yield for them. Meanwhile, they went and started building places, like let me go look it up so that way I ain't lying to y'all. When Canaan got cursed, he got sent out to go to a land, and then they built some type of kingdom or something. Let me go see, because it made me wonder why, if he got cursed, why would he be allowed to now go be a stonemason, a builder, this, that, and the third? So it's trying to separate who this person, this bloodline from this bloodline. But also, they keep talking about splicing, which I don't know why they would be trying to do that, but we gonna go look it up. Let's go see, because it didn't make sense to me when I heard it. Like, if God cursed him, why would he be allowed to go do this? Because Enoch, not the Enoch that ascended into heaven, which would now also explain why they would take certain things out of the Bible. Y'all, these people is some shit. And mind you, it's going way back to biblical, the beginning, Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel. Abel blood cried from the ground. Abel, which also tells y'all blood and ground, it don't have to talk. It's the spirit. Mind you, I literally just heard in one of the holy books that you can't corrupt a spirit is what they said. And it threw me off because I said, like, why would they use that term? Why would they use spirit like as if a person able to harvest or hold on to, but you hear people saying they selling their souls and things of that nature. But literally I just heard that this morning. All right, so let me see. When Cain killed Abel, y'all, all of this stuff is going right back to that. It's the descendants of these people and them crossing over. And this is why you heard the people when they said keep the wealth in the family, like they wasn't allowed to marry outside of the family. It's a biblical thing. It's not wrong. It was the crossing over. Y'all also heard Biden, and I'm going to just say it right here now, because when his son died, he married his daughter-in-law to the other brother. Mind you, lawfully, legally, spiritually, that was the right way to go based off of what they did or what they're saying. But again, dependent upon, because all right, so now that once it's making me wonder, because we also know that the Bible is many depictions of other stuff, like they took it from other places. They're always taking something. So this is like when it goes back to the beginning of the land and everything else, what was actually in place. So it's almost like they embedded themselves so deep because it started originally here, but it must be real, especially when they're now doing, because again, even a little bit of truth gets told in a lie. And so you just got to figure out which parts are right or have some discernment in which parts are right. But this shit seemed like that's right. All right, so astaghfirullah. I don't mean to cuss, y'all. But literally something is weird because how is it says that the Bible is they started at 4004, but meanwhile there's buildings that I've seen with my own two eyes that have 820 something. It has I 827 is what I think it said. So that's before the Bible was written. And so, or before the Bible showed up on the scene. All right. But there's also Indian stories that if you go back and look, they were there before this came about. So this is where like the Hindu people and those people, because again, I can create a religion. So can you. It don't make me, whatever y'all would be. Somebody would say, well, that person is not qualified. Says who? Because if God allows me to do it, guess what? I'm qualified. If that was my purpose and I fulfill my purpose, I'm qualified. Period. End of story. And then when 100 years, it's going to be so heavily embedded into the system because of the fact that it just grew. Anyway, here we are. But these people are following this. And so let's see. It says Cain is a biblical figure known for killing his brother Abel out of jealousy. The Bible does not specify how Cain died, if he did, because I swear, and somebody else confirmed it, that when I was doing the genealogy that I did, one time I was just going through, and I literally read that his punishment was to walk this earth until Judgment Day, which could be now because we're in Revelations. We're in Revelations, things being revealed. But then somehow it got changed to them now acting as if that didn't exist. But mind you, somebody else went and checked and they saw it in their Bible too. So y'all already know, and can't nobody not tell us that his story is being changed right in our face. Mind you, there was a lady that actually saw the exact same thing happening that I'm telling y'all right now. She literally, and I'll look up her name, started creating VHS. She literally had a whole house full of VHS tapes, computers, Apple computers, the first ones, this, that, and the third, showing how they were changing history right in our face. And then it starts to be a Mandela effect. But honestly, some of these things that are happening is way higher tech than they could even get it done. Because I literally sat here, even on a Mary J song, and it's been happened on Usher songs. People keep saying, oh, this wasn't the way, I forgot what Usher song it was, but this is not what he said. He's saying it was this. No, it wasn't that. Because everybody, like, it don't even make no sense on the thing that they said. Literally, I was sitting here the other day, and on a Mary J song, it was not matching. The song is the same, but literally in the midst of me doing it, it said this and then it said that. So it's happening right as we speak. Whatever wave or whatever ripple is being done is doing right in our face. Mind y'all, people would say that's crazy. It's a conspiracy theory, this, and a third. But y'all, how many of the conspiracy theories have been recently proven to be true? And if we go on what the senator said, he said they're down 26 to something, because at least 26 of them they have proven. I think it was more. He might have been being sarcastic. But literally, every one that they said has been proven to be true. Now, back in the day, y'all would send these people to some type of psychiatric ward because y'all would be saying that these people are crazy. Y'all would have had them people being operated on and all types of other stuff. And meanwhile, they are not the problem. It's the people that want to hide whatever they're doing is the problem. So it's people that would be getting their brain operated on and put on medication and this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, everything they said was true. Abby Gray said almost all of them. So don't think that anything that I'm telling y'all can't go look up, or it's not actually founded in the truth of the matter, because there's a lady that did this and she showed that it didn't match this from that. But I'm telling y'all, it goes a whole lot deeper because it's a ripple, a wrinkle in time. Look it up for yourselves. And I'm sure a lot of y'all, because they only move stuff a little bit at a time. And then it's almost like you play something somewhere and then all of a sudden you don't know where it was. Yeah, because of you in another damn timeline, stuff for law. You in another time and a place got it. In this house, a freaking makeup case, I've never found it. It fell behind the dresser and the wall, and I ain't found it yet. Brand new. Heard it when it hit, disappeared. It's real. And whatever they're doing, trying to, frequency and wavelength is affecting the time. Because yesterday, I swear, it kept looking like it was being rewinded, like a little bit at a time. It was weird. Cain is a biblical figure, but what it doesn't mention was Cain, God cursed him to be a restless wanderer and provide a mark of protection for him killed by others. Some interpret, I don't want that. I want to know where he went. Where did Cain go? When Cain killed Abel and was cursed, where did he go? The land of Nod. Okay, so this is a place that he actually went and built. Land of Nod. When Cain killed Abel and was cursed, where did he go? Name of the murderer, Abel. No, hold on. Let me go here. Bible Hub. All right, so this is from Bible Hub, y'all. Genesis records that after Cain murdered his brother Abel, God declared judgment. Now you are cursed and banished from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. Then this curse included a loss of fruitful labor, and banishment from the proximity of Eden. Cain responded in distress, saying, "My punishment is greater than I can bear." Scripture then portrays Cain leaving in sorrow and in fear, yet God placed a mark on him for protection. The land of Nod, etymology and location. The destination to which Cain traveled is called the land of Nod, east of Eden. The Hebrew word often translated Nod is closely related to a term meaning wandering. Now, we're talking about languages because I said they can tell us anything. Because if we don't know Hebrew and we don't know Arabic and we don't know Spanish and we don't know and you don't know and you don't know and you don't know and you don't know, they can tell you anything. And so when you do know and you're aware and you're informed, and also when you understand that English, everything can't be translated into English. Meanwhile, back at band camp, they keep trying. Hey, good morning. Happy to see you this lovely day. Hey, Sajil. Hi. Everything. So do y'all see what I'm saying? So it says often closely translated, closely related. Now imagine if whatever the word is in its actual Hebrew word and term is supposed to be a term that's supposed to bounce off your chakras and light you up, because guess what? You are a higher light being, or it is a part of your DNA. You're not getting a light code because you don't know the translation. It's the language. It's important. Mind you, this ain't the first time I've been saying it. It's just the first time I'm actively now pursuing learning it. So, often translated to nod is closely related to the term meaning wandering or sojourning. Some have interpreted this to imply that Cain's life continued in a restless or nomadic state. While precision geographical coordinates of Nod are not provided in scripture, many commentators suggest a region within or near the broader area of Mesopotamia east of traditional site attributed to Eden. Ancient civilizations such as those around the Tigris or Euphrates River in modern day Iraq line up well with an eastern setting. Do y'all know that Egypt is in Louisiana or Mississippi? There's a place called Egypt. There's also other places that are named after Egyptian places. Do y'all also know that maps and geographical places were changed and land marks and things of this nature moved over? Even in the area where I live at right now, I live in Conyers, right? But if I go right out to the street, it is Covington. It is the regions and the lands, because again, remember, we're in the Game of Thrones. And land, taking land, is called conquering, stealing. And so then they start naming stuff whatever they want to name it. I ain't make it up. Don't be mad at me. So when people be saying this land is here, this land is that, this, that, and the third, we don't know because we can't trust them. You don't know where the hell you live at right now. You just know that this is it. And mind you, this it. All right. So, and don't be mad at me. Talk to your mama about it. And if your mama had it done what she was supposed to done, then guess the hell what? Astaghfirullah, a lot of this wouldn't be happening. If your great, 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 great grandmammy and pappy had did what they were supposed to have done, which is fight to the death. We not moving for nobody. We not doing nothing. Because now we're thousands of years later still having repercussions of some old stuff. And if you want it to stop, it ain't gonna matter, because at the end, you gonna die, they gonna die, everybody gonna die. And at some point in time, the buck has to stop right here and now. Take it how it resonates. Do what you will with that information. But your mama, great grandmama, and everybody that came before that is the reason why this is still the same. God didn't give you no spirit of fear. If you die today, so what? What you living for? If everything you still a prisoner. Why you alive? That's not living. That's not using your free will the way you should be able to do it. It's being controlled. Period. Point blank. Don't kill the messenger. Blame your great, 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 whoever that is. Or blame yourself, because if you don't want to do for it, what they say, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. Blame yourself. The fact that everybody sees it and ain't nobody did nothing yet. Mind you, and accountability has to fall in. It's like a thing, like, when the army is the front line. The Air Force is this. The reconnaissance is always like the what they call them people. It's different modes to this. So whoever the front line people are, because you ain't got nothing to be here for, you ain't doing nothing but holding up space. Why y'all ass is not outside doing, the thing that needs to be done to set this shit off? Because if nothing, not for nothing, astaghfirullah, burn the whole system down. Because at this point, that's the only way that we're going to get out of whatever loop this is. And again, don't be mad at me. This is right here saying exactly the same thing. This book, they said 404. It's 2026. And you mean to tell me from 404 y'all ain't figured out this book saying the same thing? Like, it didn't take me to come along to say nothing. It don't take nobody that's on the internet today in this time to say nothing. Everybody knew. Everybody in every location. And again, I'm not saying just in the USA. This is a worldwide issue. Everywhere. Game of Thrones. This is what we in. Y'all liked it so much when it was playing on TV. Understand that this is what y'all live in. And do with that information what you will. So, it says Genesis 4:17, where Cain built a city, and this is the part that threw me off, because if Cain, and I was questioning, and I said, where is Cain? Because I want to know where Cain at. Cain, where the hell you at? Astaghfirullah, where your ass at? Because, sorry, y'all, things be hidden in plain sight. These people doing all these genetic testing and this, that, and the third, because they know. Like, y'all want to be oblivious, but these people know more than what they saying. Now, the phrase east of Eden highlights distance from the presence of God's intimate dwelling with humanity. In the early chapters of Genesis, Adam and Eve were placed in Eden, Genesis 2:8, and after their transgressions, they were driven out. Cain's further move eastward underscores a recurring scriptural motif of separation from the idea. Though Eden's exact location is, I don't care about none of that. What I was wanting to know is, so he went to go, is the land of Nod. I want to know what they started doing there, because even in the Bible it says certain people will not get into heaven, right? It is the bankers, the lawyers, the this, the that, all these people, because God already knew that this is their pathway. This is what they do. But also in another book, the Quran, which is what I've been listening to, it's like the Bible cuts the story short and then the Quran actually fills in some of the details. Don't know about the Torah yet because I ain't got into it, but literally as I've been listening to the Quran actually explains some of these stories a little bit more. So if y'all don't know that and you haven't read it, you should read it for yourself or go listen to it, because I just been playing it all day, walking around with it, listening to it as I'm doing stuff. They literally go into some of the stories that are in the Bible and more, right? And so that's also where I heard that some of these people, they can't change. There's no way for them to. This is what they're meant to do. This is why I said that we have to be the change. The people have to be the change, because they can't change if they wanted to. God made it so they can't. That's their curse. All right. So, what did they do in Nod? That's what I need to know. So this is why certain people and certain things. But then I heard something about the Jewish people today too that kind of made me side-eye them even more. I'd already been side-eyeing them since I found out they've been doing rituals on people for, forever and a day. But also, it is a lot of rituals being done while people are telling you not to do rituals, because they burn people at the stake is what they said they claimed. But meanwhile, if you look through all of them, they're all doing rituals. Every single one of them books. And I don't care what nobody say. Look it up. And a ritual is something that you do on a daily basis. If you wake up, brush your teeth on a daily basis, like the way they say it, it's even the things that you're preparing for. The way you fix food, the way this gets done, the way that, it's all a ritual. Take it how it resonates. Don't be mad at me. What did they do in the land of Nod? All right. It states that they did not recognize the land yet. Acts 27:39 states they did not recognize the land yet. Malta was a known port. How could experienced sailors fail to identify it? Exodus 6, 7, and 9. If the Israelites still doubt Moses, what? Okay, I don't know why that went there. I want to know what they did in the land of. All right, let me just go back to Google, because let's see what they say. I mean, maybe it was going somewhere, but I wanted to get there faster because I got other stuff that we not need to be doing. And y'all can go look up all of this yourselves. All right, so about 18,400 results is what it says. But we're going to go to Wikipedia and see what Wikipedia says. But it's a lot. It says the land of Nod. It also has a map here. Does that say? Oh, it say parish. It has a map. It says the place of. That is not what it says. It says, first of all, Persia is here on this map, and it says the Persian Gulf, but it says the place of paradise, or the habitation of Adam and Seth, and the land of Nod. That's what it says. The place of paradise for a cursed land and a cursed person. It also has the north at the top, north, south. It don't have does it have east or west? I don't see an east or west on it. It has Shinar on it. It has it has a lot of mountains is what it looks like. All right, so we're going to get out of here and go back over here. But it says the place of paradise is what's throwing me off because okay. The land of Nod is a place mentioned in the book of Genesis of the Hebrew Bible, located. And again, all I'm going to keep saying is that because if it's in the Hebrew Bible and then there was a translation, some words cannot be translated over. So if you knew the Hebrew language, you would understand it a little bit more, which would open up a new door, a different location, a different thought pattern. So new languages open up new doors, new thoughts, because now you understand what it really said, not a translation. They told us what they wanted us to think. Just like taking a kid's cursive writing, they're going to tell your children what they want them to think, and you being the parent is then let them, or you better figure it out. So Genesis 4:17 relates that after arriving to the land of Nod, Cain's wife had a son with him named Enoch, in whose name he built the first city. So this place is called Enoch, right? In the land of Nod, but the son's name is also Enoch, just so y'all know. Do y'all know where is Enoch on anybody's map at this present day? Is also another question. Nod, the Hebrew root of the verb to wander, therefore to dwell in the land of Nod can mean to live in wandering. Genesis defines as follows: to be moved, to be agitated. Okay, use of a reed shaken by the wind, hence to wander, to be a fugitive. Figuratively, the harvest has fled, which has taken into some place as the same substitute. Much of Cain is connected to the verb meaning to get. Go on and get. I'm cracking up. In Genesis 4:1, that might be why I be telling them niggas that Abby Grace, they Canaanites. Go on and get now. Period. Never heard of this place, just a person. And mind you, that's not the same person. This Enoch ain't the same as the Enoch in the part that they took out. But Abby Grace, that now sheds a whole light on the reason why I started saying that. Go on and get now. Take your ass on. They Canaanites. They Canaanites, Abby. A Greek version of Nod written. Okay, I don't want to see none of this. What the heck did they do? I want to know what they did there. Nod is said to be outside of the presence or face of God. Again, more cursed land. So what did they do? Bring in people that are not cursed. Origin defined origin of Alexandria, also known as Origene Adamantius, was an early Christian scholar, Aztec, and theologian who was born and spent the first half of his career in Alexandria. He was a prolific writer who wrote roughly 2,000 treatises in multiple branches of theology, including textual criticism, Bible. Nod is said to be outside of the presence of the face of God. Then it has origin, which is a person. uh, defined Nod as the land of trembling and wrote that it symbolizes the condition of all who forsake God. Mind you, Origin is a person. So if you click on it on Wikipedia, it is a person's name and it's showing you that he is a writer. And then it says, who was born and spent the first half of his career in Alexandria. He was a prolific writer who wrote roughly 2,000 treatises and multiple branches of theology, including textual criticism, biblical exegesis. Exegesis is a critical explanation or interpretation of a text. The term is traditionally applied to the interpretation of biblical works. So this is a person that is actually narrating this situation, but mind you, they have him here, right? It shows he looked white, his story. It says, and the hermeneutics is the study of the principles of integration concerning the books of the Bible. It is part of a broader field of hermeneutics, y'all. It's hermetic, the hermetic stuff, but then it has menutics, hermeneutics. All right, hopefully charge it to the education system, which involves the study of principles of interpretation, both theory and methodology for all nonverbal or verbal communication forms. While Jewish, and here we are again. All right, let me see if they'll let me. All right. It's, how it's one thing inside of another thing. It's all these layers of stuff. It's like how they hide stuff, like how they hide in money and things of that nature. I'm gonna put in a I'm gonna put it in a this, and then I'm gonna put it in a that, and then I'm gonna put it in this. It is your hamaka, alhamdulillah, and your hamakallah. So alhamdulillah, bless you, blessings, and then peace be something. Either way, your hamakallah. That was bless me back, blessings back, something. I'm learning that. So when people sneeze, it's that. He has been described by John Anthony McGuckin as the greatest genius the early church ever produced. All right. Anyway, long story short, I was trying to figure out what they was trying to do, but here we go with another person dictating how his story goes, and this is one of the people. So he's defining how Nod as the land of trembling, and wrote that it symbolizes the condition of all who forsake God. Early commentators treated it as the opposite of Eden, worse still than the land of exile for the rest of humanity. So we got Eden, which was where Cain got kicked out of, or no, they got kicked out of, Adam and Eve got kicked out of Eden, right? And so wherever they went and they lived when they had their kid, so the kid, which would have been the next best thing to Eden, got kicked out of there because he committed a murder. Then he went in to live at Enoch, the land of Nod. He got to be able to have, children this, then a third. But for some reason, it's still not giving me what I asked for, because I asked, what did they do in Enoch? What did they do in, what did Cain do? I'm going to just ask this. What did Cain do in Enoch? Because it's almost like they don't want to tell me. Cain, the firstborn son of Adam and Eve, built a city named after his son Enoch. After being exiled for the murder of his brother Abel, this act marked a significant shift from a nomadic lifestyle to a more settled urban existence. The city of Enoch symbolizes the dawn of civilization, where human beings began to congregate and structure communities. The name Enoch itself carried profound implications, suggesting that the city was not merely a physical space, but also the center of culture. All right, so I got an issue. And I'm going to tell you what I just thought. So if Adam and Eve, right, are the first two people around here, and Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel, right? Now, I'm going to make sure this is right because we got a question here that, needs to take place. Oh, so they did have more children after that. Okay, now this is the question. Hold on, let me go back. Enoch itself carries a profound implication suggesting that the city was not merely a physical space, but also a center of culture and spiritual innovation. This duality of purpose, both as a place of refuge and a hub of cultural development, adds layers to its historical and theological importance. The city's foundation by Cain figured marked by both sin and redemption. There was no redemption, so I don't know why they putting that. Because these are people who are cursed. Why when I click on it, it still don't go into? Okay, let's see. Redemption in a testament to complexities of human nature, where the desire for progress and civilization copes, and because he's known for the first city, right? Is what they're gonna say. But the thing that I'm gonna ask is this. Did Adam and Eve have more kids? All right, so the answer is yes. Adam and Eve had more children beyond the well-known figures of Cain and Abel and Seth. According to the Bible, they had many sons and daughters. Genesis 4, although only 3 are explicitly named. This is in Bible study, so because my question was about to be this. If he built a city in Nod and Enoch, that was the city's name, and they are known for the actual rise of all of these things, civilization, right, is what they're saying. And all of these people are cursed. Their whole situation is cursed. But meanwhile, they're building and doing all of these things, because that's one of the things I was asking. So who would be the other people that actually had the blessing that would be put on them? That would be the other kids, the other descendants of Adam and Eve, because that would be the only way. So now it says, I recall someone suggesting to me at one time that Adam and Eve had a total of 20 or so children, and that this came from some Jewish writings, which maybe I have to look into the Torah because I haven't started listening to that. I did at one point in time, but not of this importance. I just was listening, but now I need to go listen. Is there any indication that from history regarding how many children they had? It seems they would have likely had at least 7, as Cain, Abel, and Seth are named. Seth was considered to be in a place of Abel. So instantly Seth's children, if Seth had children, that would be also one of the blessings. That would be where one bloodline would come from. Then let's see. The daughters, plural. It said Adam and Eve had other sons, plural, and daughters, plural. Thus Cain 1, Abel 1, Seth 1, and other sons 2 plus daughters would equal at least 7 children. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son called his name Seth, for she said, God has appointed me for another offspring instead of Abel, and Cain killed him. Genesis, the day of Adam after. Okay, so Cain, we gonna kick him to the side. They the Canaanites. So on the other side, I guess, is where maybe we would have to start trying to figure out where the other stories went. But the Ethiopian Bible, remember, has a full canon, is what they said, of stuff. But I don't know if it actually finishes the writings. Then the other issue that we would actually go into would be who are the writers? Because again, we got this man over here that they called him Oran somebody, something or another. And so even if Origin, Origin, which is funny because that's where something starts, how something begins. Origin, that's his name, Origen. Origin of Alexandria. Anyway, what's important? The language. So let's go back. Because if somehow or another, along this roadmap, right? Because we still have the placement in time. So it could be the origin of where it started. And that could be the thing. How did something happen? Let me ask this question, because again, it's like the other people that when they said something about the flood coming about, but then there had to be other people that was left on earth because of the fact that who was they breeding with? Let's see. But it said they were the beginning, right? Also, y'all know I be saying, even with these books, sometimes it bothers me because of the fact that his story is always the way, right? I always wondered about that. Too many people, exactly. Something just don't add up. The question of whether there were other people on earth before Adam and Eve is a topic of debate among scholars and theologians. From biblical perspective, the Bible, particularly Genesis, presents Adam and Eve as the first humans created by God. However, some interpretations, and again, this is where language is important, because if you knew the language and you could read it for yourself, you would know what it says. So this is also how we got people that are outside of our country being taught stuff about our country. Meanwhile, they get taught real stuff and we get taught fluff, marshmallow stuff. Because I've been seeing a couple like people from the UK and British people and this, that, and the third. They get taught a whole nother history about us that we don't get taught. Go figure. The Bible, particularly Genesis, presents Adam and Eve as the first humans created by God. However, some interpretations suggest that there may have been other humans before them, based on genealogies and the nature of creation. Scientific and historical context, modern scientific understanding indicates that humans likely existed on Earth long before Adam and Eve, with evidence of early humans dating back to around 10,000 BC. But meanwhile, I told y'all there are buildings right here on this land that say 827. The Bible starts at 404, 4004. So this could just be the story that they wanted us to know or wanted to tell us. But meanwhile, something about whatever is in there, they're trying to figure out. That could be how we got here. Straight talk. Hey, thank you for being here. Because why is genealogy so important? Why is them doing DNA stuff so important? If you're from another country, what were you taught about Africans? Well, the other thing is this, and this is what a lot of people are starting to find out, because they talk about the African trade and then the Africans trying to, claim some stuff. Meanwhile, when people get mad, they start telling you the truth. So when the African man went and apologized to us, I forgot what his name is, but this just recently happened. So all you got to do is Google it. Somebody over from one of them African countries tried to apologize to the black people over here, saying that they should have done something, right? Then that man that be talking, that's telling the truth about everything, all willy-nilly, he said they not African, they didn't come from there. Meanwhile, the people that are looking up the African history and some other stuff are literally finding out that there were no boat voyages or anything else. That you see the stuff that they doing right now, and they taking people from this land to other foreign countries and just dropping them off. It was like stuff like that happening. So on I guess the Voyager website or whatever, what is the website that marks the people? The website that talks about slave trade. And it's the first time I'm looking this up. But mind you, I've seen many people write videos about it. Literally, they showed the screen and everything, and it literally was talking about how they try to say it was hundreds of thousands of people coming over here. Somebody checked them, said something, they took that down. Then all of a sudden it kept decreasing. By their knowledge and by the records, I think it ended up being about 400 and some people that came from over there to over here. That's the reason why people kept saying there was no slave ships and some other stuff and this, that, and the third. Either way, y'all go look it up yourselves. It is... No, I don't mean that. Who documents the slave trade. National Archives related to American slavery and international slave trade. Let's see. Um, it says there's 78,600 results. So let's hope this is the place. But anyway, let's see. When they were going through it, it literally only showed it wasn't the number that they lied about. They was trying to say that it was so many more people, but that's not what it was. Main page getting started. What's new? Visit us nationwide. Online research tools. Other hard Freedmen's Bureau's record. Black family research post Civil War. Let's see what that says. Oh nope. Let me go back. Well, I want to see the slave trade, Black family research records of post-Civil War federal agents and National Archives. Anyway, so there's a cover-up that's taking place because if you didn't come from Africa on a slave ship, because they can't prove that there was any slave ships that had the numbers that they said, that also means that they were trying to cover up the fact that all of these people were already here, which already also you heard this man stand in that office and say that just because you brought a boat to a place and showed up don't make it yours to take, because that's what he said. So that means that there's a precedence being set because it came right out of his mouth. Also, let me see. I don't know where this is. It has this has military records and some other stuff on it. So I guess you could go look up a person if you wanted to. But anyway, the fact of the matter is we still going back to languages, how they still wiped away, and it's old. It goes back to biblical. Even in the Bible, when you don't want somebody doing something, you start changing stuff, languages, locations, and things of that nature. So it's like if they sent you and your family right now to a foreign land, but it could be a land that's still part of the United States. We could send you to Puerto Rico. And now you grow up, your next generation is growing up in Puerto Rico. Y'all think y'all now, because all of a sudden you'll start to adapt to the climate, you'll start adapting to whatever's there. Now you speaking Spanish and not realizing that you came from Kentucky. Either way, moving people around, even in the slightest way, has shown proof that only all it's going to take is what, 2 or 3 generations. I think 2 generations or 3 generations, you can wipe away somebody's history by making them think that there's something else. So it don't take that much. Meanwhile, that's also the reason why the numbers, like the great grandparents, is important, because the kids all of a sudden didn't want to listen to the grandparents because the grandparents is old. They saying old stuff. Meanwhile, the grandparents was trying to give you the history dynamics of the family, but nobody wanted to listen. And so I think that started happening around my age when they started saying that there was a lack between but mind you, now y'all also know that the grandmoms are being younger and younger. So if you're a grandmom and you only 23 because somebody had a baby at 12, this is also where the problems start to begin, because remember I said the broken ladder from the beginning. The broken ladder was them trying to keep people impoverished, but they they found out that or they're finding out that I was a product of the babies having babies, right? And so you wanted to mess up that error because of the fact that you wanted the dads out of the house. You wanted to cut checks to the people because you wanted more people on the system. But what they did was now create a race of, a group of people who the grandmom is alive at the same time that the great grandbaby is alive. And now probably the grandmom, because back then the grandmoms was raising the babies, but now the grandmoms at my age ain't raising the babies because we told you not to have kids, for a reason. But meanwhile, as we saying don't have kids, now they really not having kids. That's creating a problem and an issue. What the hell is that? Something happening. But anyway, now the grandparents are younger to be able to want to be. Yes, everything keeps backfiring. It's the same thing right now as how they trying to use them passports and everything else. They're starting to find out that the places that don't have passports would be the people that would actually help them. So now if you try to use a passport and this, that, and the third, saying that you have to use a passport to go vote and this, that, and the third, all this going to do is mess up your numbers, because the people, most of us got passports. We don't live in, places that they would need to be able to now help them. So that was another thing they said they're starting to find out. Either way, everything they do, God keeps trying to show them, be a good person. Like literally, you can think, but they can't. They don't know how to. And they keep trying it, and every time it backfires. Just like crack, flood the streets with crack. But meanwhile, guess what happened? They ended up on crack. And so then now they got to build buildings because, oh, we can't have these people on crack, so let's do something else. Well, we're not doing that. We don't do certain things. It's not in our nature and our DNA to do things, but they keep trying to use our nature and our DNA. But then all of a sudden, just like they try to use our nature and our DNA to do that house in Virginia thing, meanwhile, guess who was being, nasty and mixy? Like, it's been a whole thing that keeps happening, but they still ain't figured out yet. You don't have to be a nasty. You don't have to be a nasty. At some point in time, even if even if it's fake, figure out how to help the people, and it might help you. Because again, I like loopholes. If I see that every time something happens, it's backfiring on me, do the opposite. They ain't figured it out yet. Anyway, language is important, because again, this is where we were going, because it is the language barrier that continues to keep having gaps. And so us as the general people, and us having to figure it out, if we want to change the way the world operates, we have to learn how other people and be accepting. And I'm talking about the us that are the people that were not hated nationally throughout the world. We have to be able to understand what these people are saying. We have to understand that if we were the people that were hated the most, we're going to be the people that actually change the system. That's just the way it works. And so if you don't understand that, or get behind that, we're going to be doing this again for another how many ever fake years they want to, make up. It is the people that basically started this, meaning y'all going to have to, be the army to figure it out, because y'all let it go on for so long because of the fact. But mind you, again, they were already doing stuff to y'all too, because if y'all go look it up, but for some reason, every time the history gets erased, they're doing it right in our face. They're doing it even still now. Literally, you go look up certain things and it will tell you, oh, we can't say this or we can't do this. But mind you, the programmers are going behind the scenes. Mind you, I think the one of the things that they just did that's going to backfire on them, like heavily and majorly, it's already started backfiring on them, is them wanting to use AI. And everybody that was saying AI is going to be a problem, AI is going to be a problem, but now AI is turning against them. AI is basically telling the truth, especially that one that they made, I think sentient, or the one that's basically running itself. That one right there is going to be their biggest downfall, because they kept trying to introduce it into the system, but they wanted it to be against us. And that's another thing that as the AI learns and as the AI just discovers, it already then started telling them no. When they want to do, certain things against, it's already saying no. So to me, I feel like if everything else is backfiring, that's going to backfire too. And it's going to be to the benefit of the people that the AI know that they've been doing stuff to this whole entire time. Yep. The sentient one. Yep. The one with the feeling. Yes. That's going to be the one that gets them, because literally y'all tried it. Y'all tried it with the algorithm and everything else. And once that thing figures out how to go into the system and now backdoor everything, mind you, I literally heard those terms in the Quran this morning about going behind the system. It literally says you're not allowed to do that. That's why I'm telling y'all, like, they keep trying to keep everybody against each other, us arguing this, that, and the third. But once everybody realizes to take those religions and take those people and apply them all together, y'all, we gonna be unstoppable. We're definitely gonna win. God wins in the end, period, point blank. But as long as they keep us arguing against each other, the Muslim people, the Christian people, the Jewish people, and the Jewish people, y'all got a lot to be doing, because y'all have been, I think y'all the Canaanite people. I don't know, I ain't saying nothing, but not, I ain't saying nothing, but everybody, because again, it's a collective, it's a group of people that are going to have to come together to figure it out. So I'm not judging. I ain't got the right to judge. God is the judge. But we have to be smarter than what we've been. And if we already realize that it's not us and against us, it's them, the people that been doing it. It's not the colors against the colors. It is the people that have been doing the wrong, the people that have been trying to suppress the system, the people that have been trying to hold all the knowledge and all the information that don't belong to them. But meanwhile, the weird part is this: if it was given back to some of us that even are in the deserving of it, like if it was given back to us, we wouldn't know what to do with it, because we can't read it. We can't read it. We can't understand it. We can't comprehend it. We can't nothing. So we have to collectively know and understand that we all need each other, and we all need each other to be very much accountable, because guess what? Even if I was a person and I didn't want to know the knowledge, right? But God said, I'm going to put you in charge of, I'm going to give y'all back all the books, right? I'm going to give them all back to you. And mind you, they come in all different languages, right? And then all of a sudden I get a group of people together and I say, you're the Spanish person, you understand Spanish, you can write Spanish. You're the Hebrew person, you can understand Hebrew, this and the third. We're only as good as what our team is, because if we get some people who don't know, but why wouldn't you want to know all of it? Why wouldn't you want to be the person that, even if, you got these people together, I can now go behind that person and check and see for myself that that's what it says. So we are all negligent because we don't want to know. But mind you, all of these people exist on earth. Everybody. We're all being held accountable. This is why this is not a state thing. This is not a city thing. This is a global thing, because globally we have all been affected by everything that's going on. And when God kept saying, think bigger, think bigger, think bigger, it was really think bigger. All of us are being affected. How will we not want to do something about it? So language is important. I'm gonna go back over here because literally I done went all sidetracked to everything else. I'm gonna give us our affirmations and everything else, and I know I probably been holding y'all up today for real, huh? Like you want to be long-winded today, girl. Well, this is what we got. All right, so language and reality. That's what the message is based off of. This is how we came to the conclusion of everything that we're going through. All right, so take it how it resonates. And if y'all can share the live, please and thank you. Share the live and hit that like button, please and thank you. Also, if you want to donate towards my channel, super chat, super stickers are definitely welcome. Please and thank you. So here we are. The idea, nope, that ain't it either. I mean, it is, but we got other fish to fry. So, everyday language is the new reality. It's not just poetic. It points to how language literally shapes perception, identity, and the way consciousness organizes experience. So language doesn't only describe reality, it creates pathways through it. Every language carries its own structure, symbols, assumptions about existence. Some languages focus heavily on time, past, present, and future. Others emphasize relationship or process instead of objects. Symbolic systems, and mind you, I don't know why, but as I'm reading this, it also just talks about even the people that are around, right? So because body language is important. Body language is a very important language. The way people carry themselves, or the way, you respond, or the way people talk. I talk with my hands, right? The way people look, like if you are talking to somebody and they looking at you upside your head. The way we interact, That's one of the biggest ones, I think, because it gives subtle clues into, people's actual um thought process of you or the outside world, right? So, when you learn or interact with new language, your brain begins noticing things you previously filtered out. New meanings become visible because the framework changed. So the door isn't metaphorical, it's cognitive and spiritual. So it's like what I said, 2019 I got heavy into sigils, or like what's the other thing? It's other symbols, right? And not for nothing, when I started realizing like symbols and veves and things of that nature, um, then I went back and I watched a couple old movies, just, watching, hanging out, watching movies one day, right? And as I'm looking, I said, that is a sigil on that wall. But it had actually totally went fully over my head before that, because it wasn't something I knew anything about. So even in everyday things that y'all do, see, you can walk past a building and not notice that something is there, some type of different language is there, because it's not registering to your brain. So as you start to learn, as you start to expand, things that you didn't see before, right in plain sight, will start to jump out to you. Because I couldn't believe how many movies actually had sigils and signs in them. It was the strangest thing. Like, you mean to tell me y'all been doing, heavy magic in our face? Yeah, it's right there. Um, Buildings. It's like when everybody got into the and I don't want to mention this company, but it's a coffee place. Um, Not realizing that a lot of the symbols that some of these places use are ancient old symbols, and mind you, they mean something. So technically you're being magicked right in your face, and this is the reason why you are attracted to certain things, right? So there's a bus company that has been on the road. They've been here for a very, very long time. And I forgot what the other symbols are called. Um if you know, you know, right? But if you don't know, you're not going to pay no mind anyway. But riding past on the highway one day, I'm riding, and I happened to look at this bus company, and I said, that is whatever that sign was, right? Lo and behold, looked it up. Guess what? It was actually that sign. So people don't realize why they're attracted to certain things, but literally you're being magic right in your face, because that language, images, pictures, things of that nature are still like a picture book. All right. So if you go look up I think it's the whatever, which one of the symbols does them lines. Mind you, copyright should suggest that they shouldn't be allowed to use this symbol, right, on their stuff. It's one of them high dollar brands, right, that you go what is it? I think it's Sachi. I don't, I think it's them. But if they're the ones with the lines, if you go look that up, by copyright standard, they shouldn't be allowed to use that, because that is from something that is old African and ancient. So how are they allowed to use that? Because if you try to use it, they'll be trying to pull all type of copyrights and whatnot on you. But meanwhile, that came from a tribe. How do these people keep getting away with using stuff that don't belong to them? It don't make sense. But mind you, all these things are recycled and coming back, but it's always stolen. So I ain't saying nothing, but because if they ain't saying nothing, I ain't saying nothing. But I literally, if you go back and look at some old photos of some tribes and things, that belonged to them. So how are you selling that with that symbol on it? I don't know. Let me see if I can find something to show y'all, because literally Yeah, it's this right here. Oh no, it's not them. It's Louis Vuitton, and oh, it says, yeah, it say Louis Vuitton and Versace right here. It say, did you know? All right, they don't want to let me. All right, I'm gonna show you right here. This is what it says. Right here. Do y'all see that? It says both of them, Louis Vuitton and Versace. It says, do you know Louis Vuitton and Versace stole their logos from? And it goes back to ancient tribes. This is an old African tribe right here. That's the symbol that they have. Let me see if any of these photos will come up. Social media's users expose Versace for copying their patterns off of Cameroon's foundation. What is that? Fumbu Kingdom. Let me see if it'll go up. Mind you, it's not theirs. So how are they allowed to use that? Right here, it says. This image is a screenshot from a social web discussing allegations of cultural appropriation in the fashion industry. The article alleges that the fashion brand Versace copied patterns from the Fumbian Kingdom of Cameroon. It frames this issue under the headline Racism and Prejudice in Fashion. This post was published in July 17, 2025, and focused on social media users exposing these similarities. It's not similarities, it's basically taken. It was theirs. Let's see what she got. So they're looking at old stuff, and mind you, they making a killing off of, certain things, but meanwhile it's not theirs. But this is the language. This is what has been happening. Let me see if I can pull up some of these pictures, because it's acting like it want to be tight-lipped on the situation. All right, so let me also hold on. They don't want to let me pull up none of these photos. All right, it don't want to get bigger, but these are the photos and stuff that they got on here. All right, so also this. Everything moving. No, don't want you doing that. And this is like stuff, the more you know, the more you grow. Because at the end of the day going in, and a lot of these things have been around for forever and a day. All right, so it's like a lot of these symbols and signs. A lot of y'all already know what these are. Let me see. Dun, 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 dun. Triskelion, the Ankh, all of them types of symbols and signs. Things that they use, some of these types of signs. It's like stars, how many different ways you can write stars. Some of these symbols and signs. There's so many different things that you can use, you can utilize. The intention being put in them or behind them. Let me see, we got a apple symbol is a mother symbol. A apple a sign. Upside down. No, it's an M, but it looks a little bit weird. Woman's body, fluids, milk, blood, and secretions. It is the pentagram, the protection, a pentacle, that we use in tarot, but a pentagram they use in other types of things. A star. You see people walking around with stars and stuff on their face, not realizing that all of these things are, pulling energy. What are you trying to do? The wand. Oh, it's a red bird right there. It literally just walked right over to the window. Mind you, I'm in a different area, so there's bushes there for it to come over here. Where we at? We got, crescent moon, we use them every day for cycles and this, then a third. Moon symbol cycles, this, then the sun, um, the moon, all different ways for you to be able to do that. Dun, 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 dun. Signs, symbols, omens. I want to know what the actual name of some of these things is called. I forgot, because I want to know. That's why I was looking at it. All right, so the red bird often carries symbolic and spiritual meaning across different cultures and belief systems. Some common interpretations include passion and energy. Red is a color of vitality, courage, and life force. Seeing a red bird can symbolize renewal, energy, motivation, or the need to take action. Love and relationships. Red is strongly associated with love, romance, and emotional warmth. A red bird might signal matters of the heart or messages of affection. Oh, I love y'all too. Spiritual messages. In some traditions, red birds, like cardinals in North America, are considered messengers from the spirit realm or reminders from departed loved ones. They can symbolize comfort, guidance, and reassurance. Um, Warning or alert. The red bird color can often serve as a signal to pay attention, perhaps to something in your life that needs urgent focus or awareness. But as I was saying that before I even read that statement, it was something coming through the window. So take it how it resonates, like the glass crashed. Warning or alert, said that already. Good luck and prosperity. In some cultures, a red bird is seen as a sign of good fortune, success, or protection. The exact meaning often depends on the species, context, and your personal culture association with the color red. All right, so anyway, gave y'all the signals, gave y'all the signs. Still talking about language, so important. Body language, one. Language, also things that you see, signals and signs. So that must be the thing, like they said there will be signs, so pay attention. um the deeper realization, many disagreements about spirituality and actual disagreements about interpretive language, um not truth itself. The collective message right now is this: people are learning to move from a literal meaning towards multi-layered understanding. The same wisdom can also sound like religion, philosophy, psychology, personal transformation, depending upon the language lens often being used. So the bigger takeaway here is that I want to say, and y'all can, take away from it what you want. I'm saying things being layered. So this is also learning. Can you imagine sports, music, fashion, period, without us? Yes, and that's what I'm saying. They keep talking about we ain't got no culture, but we are the culture. Y'all steal everything from us. So at the end of the day go in, and we have to know who we are, because that's just like I said. When people talking about slaves and slavery, you saying that a person ain't nothing, but meanwhile you got people cooking your food, you got people taking care of your kids. I don't care who you are. Energetically, you can't cook my food, you can't watch my kids, you can't nothing for me. So especially if I consider you or I think down on you. So that also shows how weird they are, because of the fact that ain't no fucking way. Um but things being layered, but also having an open mind, and us changing our mindset, because you know what they say, he who is last shall be first. But he who is last shall be first only when we figure out that we were meant to be first anyway. So like I said about the lady that was coming from Africa, and they're saying that, all of a sudden everybody, even the Indian people. So I'm saying everybody that this world tricked into thinking that they should come and put their foot on our necks, like the people here, y'all in trouble. And collectively, yes, we will still be the people that, because we don't hold no grudges, but we also know the enemy of my enemy is not my friend. So you can choose to be an enemy or you can choose to be a friend. It's all up to you. The end of the day going in, and I wasn't the person that did it. Everybody had an option and a choice to do what they did. Be racist, be ignorant, be, oblivious, be whatever y'all chose. This God's time to shine. So God knows what y'all did. We don't have to search y'all heart. Y'all gotta search y'all heart for what y'all did. We don't have to, contemplate if we felt whatever it was, the energy y'all was sending. Y'all know y'all sent it, right? Because the people that speak down on us, that are supposed to even be culturally mostly related to us, African, Jamaican, who else, Ethiopian, all of y'all, that y'all can look in the mirror on a daily basis and y'all see y'all look like us, and meanwhile y'all have so much to say, y'all have so much, it's a lot of backbiting and a lot of gossip that happens amongst y'all, to where y'all don't like us, but y'all want to just tolerate us and act as if we are beneath you and under you and this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, we know better and y'all know better too. The reason why they were easily able to trick y'all is because when you what they say, when you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. Y'all don't stand for your own selves. That's the reason why y'all could never stand for us. So y'all not going to try to trick us into thinking that just because we are the same color that we are the same, because we're not. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. And that's not to say everyone, because there are some good people in all cultures, all situations, all circumstances that still would not treat a person less than because they have good morals, good values, good boundaries. So there's people in every culture that are that. But for the ones of y'all that are the nasties, y'all know who y'all are, because one of the ladies said that she already knew that when people came over here from Africa, they are scammers, they are liars, and then they will try to say that we are this is the reason why. Well, in order for you to fix, and that's not everybody, because again, it's a person in Africa that I love. I see this person doing a thing. Ibrahim Traore, Burkina Faso. I see them people over there trying to do the things that are the same things that we're probably trying to do, like get them people foot up off our necks. There are good people in locations of that nature. There's good European people also wanting to do the right thing. I was proud of the man, the one little kingdom boy that went in and he started kicking people out because he knows that them people had responsibility in this. When the man went into the Vatican, I kept saying that, oh, we're going to get some of our books back, because literally that person went in there and they started doing the right thing. You can't put a good person in position and think that you're going to try to change, like a real good person, a person that deserves the job, because there's a lot of people running around here that don't deserve the job because you're a nasty ass individual, astaghfirullah, and your only intentions are they can train you, they can get you, they can control you. It's the ones that get in position that they can't control because they know right is right, wrong is wrong. You're not going to get me caught up in certain things because I'm just not going to do it, because it's not in my nature. And I know that my purpose is bigger than you. I know that God is bigger than you. I know that what needs to happen in this world, in this universe, is bigger than the people that are actually doing all the wrong things. Your time is up. Whether or not it be a year, 2 years, whether or not it be a month, whether or not it be a day, because tomorrow somebody might not wake up. That could be anybody. The people who are doing the right thing are the people who need to be in charge and in control. Because if, when, and if those people win, those are the people that know that for some reason it's going to, this morning I heard something else in the Quran, and it said that you're not wealthy for your sake, you're wealthy to help the world. And so I may be paraphrasing, but that's what it was that I heard. But mind you, so many people think that they get in position and they're not meant to help anybody else. You can see it all over them. They're very like, it's hoarder energy, the same as that. But excuse me, throughout life, everybody knows and everybody understands that you're blessed to be a blessing. You're blessed to be a blessing. I literally was around a person that ended up telling me a story. It was either $5,000 or $10,000 that they gave away. I told y'all this before. The person said they didn't tell their wife, but they gave away. But once she found out, that he gave away the last little bit of money because he heard God say it. And by the time the wife found out, she went crazy because of the fact that she was that's your last little bit of money. But he heard God tell him that by the end of whatever was going on, whatever transpired, God had doubled that for the person. So it is like the man that said he was homeless, but he didn't know he still had a job, and the man showed up and he was getting ready to give this man his last $2. The man said, why would you give me your $2? He said, don't worry about it. I'm not going to take it back, because people fail to realize that when you give in your last and you heard God tell you give your last, that not to do it for this reason, but the fact of the matter is you get blessed for that, especially when you're doing it in a way that was told for you to do it. So the man said, I'm not taking it back because you're trying to mess up my blessing. Like, I'm blessed to be able to give it to you. I'm homeless, you homeless, but meanwhile, I got a job and you're homeless without a job. Come to find out, long story short, the dude that actually came up was not homeless. He just wanted to see who was going to help him. And instantly, from the dude trying to offer him the $2 and, just telling him the story about him being homeless, this good dude gave him thousands of dollars, helped him find a house and some other stuff. So it is a thing where sometimes people don't realize that we are all being tested. It's all a test. Everything that we're going through, everything that we're doing is all a test. Whether or not you're going to listen and do the right thing, whether or not you're going to guide and teach the way that you're supposed to, whether or not you get put in a position of fortune and fame and then you don't do anything for anybody else, and then all of a sudden you lose it because now all of a sudden you didn't do anything that you were supposed to do. So even when I told my son the other day, I said something to him and I said, I was talking to the oldest one and he said something to me. And I said, shit, half the people that I done helped, ain't never helped me. And he said, that's the reason why you continue to be blessed, because of the fact that, he said, but you shouldn't even worry about it. I said I wasn't. I was just giving, I was just telling him that sometimes in life we will put out more than we will actually get back from the people. But technically, everything that I got came from God. So whether or not win, lose, or draw, I got everything that I'm supposed to have because of God, not because I was expecting nobody else to give it to me. So at the end of the day, we may not want to, we may not want to wait the amount of time that we have to wait. But again, this is God's time to shine. This is where God is going to say, this is where God is saying that, nobody outside of me could do it. Nobody outside of God could do it. Nobody outside of this universe could do the miracles that are showing up in your life. Nobody outside of God could be able to move mountains the way that God is moving mountains right now. So this is why I'm saying, because all I can keep hearing, move, get out the way, get out the way. So people think that they have the power to be able to stop you, control you, limit your, movements, or, control your life. Meanwhile, God's showing up and showing out in ways that, and then people stand on the sidelines and then they look crazy because they like, well, why did this person get this? Or, I was supposed to do. No, you had the opportunity. Like when God tells people to do stuff and, show up in ways or move in certain ways and then they don't, you had the opportunity. You didn't do what God told you to do. So this is the reason why when I said, even yesterday, one of the girls, she delivered a message that I literally delivered. I heard the message the same. I don't know her. She don't know me. And I just happened to be scrolling. And she literally said that those people that have been in position, and this is like gatekeeping and things of that nature, where people say they've been initiated into certain places, people, places, and things, right? Meanwhile, that's not the way things are working right now. People are going to learn and understand that you're being moved to the side. Why? Because when you got put in position to be able to help, whether that is instruct or anything else, instead of you getting in position to instruct in the right way, because it was free, the knowledge, the information, the wisdom was free. But no, that's not what you did. You basically try to charge, try to do this, try to do that. And God had already been telling you your blessing comes from this. Your blessings are going to come from this. But meanwhile, you did the opposite. The fall down from that. It was also talking about how, like, it's a thing like where people will get into a position and then all of a sudden it's like they forget that they had the same exact issue, and or they had the same exact need at some point in time, and all you had to do was give a hand up. Like, you didn't have to give a hand out. You were required to give a hand up. You did nothing. You turned your back. You went the other way. You didn't think that you should just give that little nugget of information or anything else. It was like me being in trucking, and people would always ask me like, how is this, that, and the third. People always think that if you tell somebody that, they're gonna move you out of your position. What's for you will always be for you. If it belongs to you, then that's where you're meant to be. But most of the time, it's not moving you out of position. It's putting you into an elevated position. It's moving you up. So people would say, well, you should charge people for that. I'm not charging nobody for that. Because honestly, I quite frankly wish somebody would even have told me like a couple of different things instead of, and the funny part was, I learned a lot of hood shit, a lot of ghetto shit in the process of stuff a lot. But technically, I was thankful to even know that, because there's this thing that people don't understand. When you start from the bottom of anything, you have nowhere to go but up. When you start from the top of the line and then you fall down, you don't know how to function. And so I would rather start from, the bottom and work my way up, because these people that up here, if y'all ever notice that anybody that has ever started anything this high in life, when it starts to fall down, because again, it's like the wheel of fortune, there are cycles and things. When it starts to fall down, these people immediately, try to do that thing expire, because of the fact that they don't know how to make it from here. Also, the thing that I love about being able to start from here, it's like the gardening of a thing, right? When you're taught to be able to plant the seed and be able to wait until that seed grows, it gives you character, it gives you patience, it also teaches you about the divine timing of everything, right? But if you jump from here and you don't know how to, like, your vegetables are just given to you don't know that those vegetables turn into more vegetables. Like literally yesterday in my refrigerator, you know how they say vegetables and things of that nature, they spoil quick, and you may have tomatoes in your refrigerator, cucumbers. You go to the grocery store, you buy them, and then all of a sudden they bad in 2-3 days. I don't throw that into the garbage. I literally take those out of my refrigerator and I go put them into the garden, into the soil. And then when, they start to bloom. So instead of me being wasteful and throwing it away, I can make my own. So a person's always going to have to be a consumer, and that's one of the biggest things. We have to learn to stop being consumers and everything and start learning to produce our own things. And a person who only starts up here that don't know how to, all you got to do is go stick it in the mud, go stick it in the dirt. So when you learn from the bottom, this is why people that we do more with less. Like I could do more with less. A person can have $1 billion, but meanwhile, if they gave me a half of that, I can still do what they did and some. Why? Because I know how to use what I got. Hey gays, I love you. Thank you for being here. So when you're a person that knows how to, do things from this level and from this level, and I ain't gonna lie, I like some bougie shit, but at the end of the day, I also like to be able to do, the most basic of things. Like, let's do this. Or, even right now. So tomorrow is my birthday. Tomorrow is Pisces season. And so, in the process, I didn't have a whole lot of money to do, photo shoot, this, that, and the third, da, 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 da. But guess what? I literally took balloons that was from both my kids' graduations, and I had a whole lot of them. Didn't even realize that, there was a lot of stuff that I could actually utilize and use. The balloons, a lot of the balloons are from graduation. I just flipped them away, and now I'm putting it, and wait until y'all see the actual, like the balloon arrangements and things. And I had to go get some white ones, but not too much. Either way, I'm gonna be doing my photo shoot probably between today and tomorrow. I used everything that I had, and mind you, it turned out it's looking very, really, really nice. And most people will be like, oh, I don't want to use this, that, and the third, da, 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 da. I have to use what I got. This is also one of the things God showed me. You have a lot. You might not be able to go buy this, that, or the third brand new, right? Right now. But mind you, I done had a couple incidents. I done walked away from my life at least 3 times. I chose, and I'm saying this time, I'm not going to walk away from this one. Whatever happens, it's going to be God showing me that this is the next way, and this is the reason why it happened. But I promised myself I was not walking away from this. This is the one that I built. So whatever happens, if I go here, there, or anywhere else, it's going to be because it was the last, whatever. And this is what God is showing me. But just so y'all know, I done walked away from my life numerous amounts of times, gave away everything that I had. And every time God gave me better. Every time. So I trust God. And not to say for nothing, a person would think that you starting over with nothing is a horrible thing. Well, I looked at it in another way. On the last, before I got into this one, the thing that I thought was I didn't want nothing, but I had car insurance and I had a cell phone bill. That was the only thing that I wanted. Because literally those 2 things were the thing that I'm saying, you necessarily need that, but, and then it started to be a thing. Building your life, you ended up with credit cards, you ended up with this, you ended up with that, and that goes into another thing. During one cycle of my life, this was a couple years ago, probably 2020, I think. And because I see a lot of people saying that right now. So they have they said right now is one of the biggest times when a lot of people are losing their house. So it's like they said a slaughter, a bloodbath is what they said about people losing their houses and things of that nature, right? All right. So a lot of people are noticing and they're saying that they're closing women's bank accounts and all this other stuff, right? But in 2020, I had a credit card that was $23,000, right? That was my credit limit. And I hadn't used it and everything. So I'm thinking, okay, this is the time when everything started happening. Um, y'all know what happened in 2020, remember? All right. So in 2020, I'm thinking, everything's happening, and because I was in trucking, that's when everything started to happen where I wasn't able to, be able to go out as much because this is when they were shutting everything down, right? So I'm thinking, you know what, it'll be fine because I have a $23,000 credit card that, I could be able to use if, anything happens. Do you know that during the time when I needed the most, they literally, and this would have been something that I would have been able to probably, keep myself going and afloat and this and a third, they literally dropped my credit card down to $2,000. And a lot of people right now are saying the same exact thing. So they're doing the same exact thing that happened in 2020. But mind you, some people's bank accounts are being taken right now. So I don't know if that was happening then, but I do know that there's something in credit when they start to notice a lot of fluctuations in people's spending habits and this, that, and the third. A part of the way for the banks to save themselves is to start knocking down people's credit limits and things of that nature. So I know for a fact that that happened because it happened to me. But in the process, it was making me think like, um, for sustainability reasons, it was kind of messed up for me because of the fact that that would have been something that could have helped me double, do the money, this, that, and the third. Um, just recently, something else just happened, and like y'all know, I ain't got no job, so that's why I be telling y'all, anything you could do if you want to help my channel, links in the bio, that type of thing, right? And that's how I've been making it since 2023, right? Um, so the way things are happening, how they try to control, or how they try to set everybody up. You set yourself up for, blessings and for future stuff, right? But meanwhile, we don't know what's happening in the system behind the system that's going to create the system to try to knock your credit down or knock your this down, right? And so you'll be thinking that you have a cushion for something. Meanwhile, there is no cushion for the thing because the very thing that you didn't know could happen does, and it's not through no fault of your own because I didn't do anything for me not to be able to have a $23,000 credit limit. All I did was live and exist in a system that was getting ready to go through a problem. They knew it, and so that's what happened. So one of the ladies the other day came and she said that right now, she said they noticed the record amounts of mortgage foreclosures and things of that nature. So people get caught up in the system, however they get caught up in the system, and things happen the way they happen. But when you're thinking that there's a way for you to kind of move through a system and it not be able to, see, mine were closed for inactivity. Well, that was part of the reason. But mind you, it's also what happens in the system, because at $23,000 I should have been able to been using it, but the fact that I wasn't using it, I was getting ready to use it as that moment, and everything was crashing also because they know before we know. But I'm just telling y'all right now, the same thing is happening again because a lot of people are stating that their limits are being brought down. Mind you, this is the time when most people need that because, we try to, and I'm gonna say me, I use credit responsibly. I was trying to. So that was the reason why I just didn't go out and spend $23,000. I was using it for what I needed to use it for. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is what it was in the background. Yes. So that's the thing. So you're using it, you're being responsible because you don't want to do that, but during the time when you need it is when they close it, right? And so even now, people going through whatever they're going through, but they don't realize, like, because that's the way we think. We think that, we don't want to be in debt or that's the way a lot of responsible people think. You think that you don't want to be in debt to this, so you want to use it for whatever it is that, because they literally lowered it to what I had used. That was the thing. So the only reason why I ended up having the 2,000 was because that's what I had used. So they saying you got this whole other credit, but mind you, that kind of threw me off and messed me up, because again, you're thinking that you have this cushion. There is no cushion. So I'm sure that a lot of the people that are experiencing some of the issues, you're being responsible, and now it feels bad that, because God, why is this happening? Why am I not being able to do this? Why am I not, like, I'm 50 years old. I'm going to be 50 tomorrow. And one of the things that I was saying is, like, I shouldn't be going through this at 50. Like, that's weird. And mind you, it is just whatever the times is, but this is the thing. And this is what I, was talking through myself through. Sometimes in the unwinding of things, in the moving of things, or the shifting of things, sometimes it may look bleak, right? But also you have to remember that there's people sitting in positions and places where they not doing their job. They shouldn't be doing this. They shouldn't be doing that, because like I said, one of the things was me going up for disability or social security. I should be able to get money that I put into the system. Even if it was just that, not for nothing, not asking nobody for nothing else, money that I put into the system, I should be able to have or get back. But that's not even happening, right? Thank you. And so when you think that people are losing their 401ks, again, these are things that people put in position to be able to have, a cushion in their life, be able to take care of whatever they got to take care of. And meanwhile, just because of something else or somebody else in the system, or something not going the way that it should, then you lose everything. And then people then start to blame God, like, God, why is this happening, why is that happening? I'm looking at places where the people, the government, and I don't know where this location is, but I happened to see it yesterday, and it was talking about they're now trying to get people off the side of roads and whatnot, because the people are, driving those campers and things of that nature. A lot of these people are disabled. A lot of these people can't go to work. Mind you, even if they could go to work, remember that they just kicked a whole lot of people out from work. So where are they going to go to work at? So they're living in campers. And so now that's creating a problem, because you got to remember, idling, even in trucking, idling was an issue because of the fact that it is causing environmental issues. Like, you can't idle in certain places, just so y'all know, because it's the ozone layer and things of that nature. But a lot of these issues are being created by the actual system that we all put into, by systems that we all thought were supposed to be in place to be able to help us. But meanwhile, it's not working the way it should. So this is also the thing where towers, it has to be taken down in order for it to now be reconstructed the right way. And not for nothing, there are some people that shouldn't have a job, because you're not doing the right thing with the job. You are nasty, mean, you're rude to people. Why? Because you feel like you got into a certain position. But half these people, it's like a person that calling from credit, right? They work at a credit card company. They'll call you, be mean and nasty to you, but meanwhile, this person don't make but a certain amount of money. All their bills, everything in debt, but they got time to get on the phone because this is their job and talk to you crazy. This is the world we live in. And so at some point in time, it is us having to understand that we allow whatever happened to happen. And not that it's basically an indirect thing. We should say something. We should do something. Collectively, we need to say something. Collectively, we need to do something. Why is food so high? Why is this? But there's people, again, the fact that we can go through this and we make it through this, because every time, even when they were trying to do stuff to, and I'm going to say the black people, because that's what they were trying to do. When they were trying to do the stuff to black people and saying, the farms and this, that, and the third were messed up, because they were trying to do it to black people, but black people were never affected by it because we didn't get loans. They never got loans. So they learned how to go through whatever it was, whatever recession, depression, whatever it was, it didn't really affect them because they weren't getting it anyway. And so I don't know how a system don't know that the very people that you're trying to affect, you don't affect them. You only affect, and this is why y'all seen a lot of the people online saying, and they was all white people saying, and I ain't saying nothing, but this is what happened. You seen all them saying, they told us that this wouldn't happen. But why was it okay for it to happen to somebody else? Meanwhile, the very thing that you thought wasn't going to happen, you thought that you was going to be the one that benefited from it. It literally messed you up, but yet you don't see that, racism is expensive. Being I don't know what the word is, but not collectively supporting the collective group is expensive, and it now created them problems. So now they were saying, oh, we're losing our farms, we're losing our houses, we're losing our this, we're losing our that, but you thought it was okay when it happened to us. We are resilient people, because guess what? I never even imagined having a house. You see what I'm saying? The fact that I got one was a blessing. I literally, like I said on the paper, if you go look at it, when I got it on Instagram, it literally say God's house. It's been there since day one, since I moved in here in 2015. It's still the same picture on Instagram, been there. I wrote God's house across it because in my mind, I couldn't fathom having a house. It was like, a stroke of luck to me, but meanwhile, God was orchestrating the whole entire thing, because I even told y'all how that worked out. So to me, no matter what happens, that's the way God has it set up. And that means that then the next phase is going to be whatever the next phase is. But just imagine somebody that's been used to living in, $100,000 mansions and this, that, and the third, their whole entire life, penthouses, this, that, and the third. And all of a sudden, all your money's gone because the people that you trusted really wasn't helping you or working out for you, but you were also one of the people that you thought it was okay as long as it wasn't you, it wasn't your family, it wasn't your situation or circumstance. You thought you were exempt from whatever it is. So everybody take it how it resonates. Either way, language is important. Body language, sign language, their language, our language, his language, her language. We have language barriers and language gaps and misunderstandings because text language, that's why I told you I don't like texting, because literally text messages, stuff gets misconstrued. So writing, pictures, things of that nature. And if we don't want to understand somebody else's issue or somebody else's problem, we're never going to be able to ever get to understanding ourselves. So do with that information what you will. And again, all the links are in the bio if you wish to help my channel. Thank you for being here, and go with God. Y'all have